All right, I am here the day after our stem wall pour. So we poured all these stem walls. Try to pan a little slowly here. Got a wet cat today. So all the way around, we did all the stem walls yesterday. And it was much better. We had a little different, I don't know, what's the word? A little bit different assembly line going yesterday. So we had the mixer inside here in the basement in the opening on top of two pallets. So we could just dump it in the wheelbarrow, and then we wheelbarrowed it over here. And then we put a liner in the wheelbarrow and wheelbarrowed it over and just put the bags right in the wheelbarrow from the pallets. So it was just a little easier on the body yesterday with lifting 80-pound bags and such. And of course, it was a lot less concrete to pour than on last Thursday. But anyway, it's supposed to rain today, so I wanted to get it done yesterday, and man, did it rain today. So we just have like a giant front coming through from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to, seems like, Canada. So it just came through and absolutely dumped. It's been dumping since probably midnight or so. But I guess you just need 5 to 8 hours for concrete to cure before it can be exposed to rain, which we ended yesterday about 3:34 o'clock. So that was plenty of time. So it's about the far end of that 8-hour mark. Now, I don't know if it's allowed to be exposed to this much water, but we've got water like pooling up here in between our forms. So I'm going to strip the forms a little bit and let it drain out. Sorry, I'm like in the rain right now, but I want to show you that. But anyway, so the sump pump in the basement's going. I mean, we're just getting a ton of rain. So as you can see, we got a nice flow of water right here. It's just definitely not good. We need to change the way that the rain comes this way. But also, this is a problem coming off the roof. It's a really bad area up there. Again, it's raining, so I can't really go out there and show you. But obviously, that needs to be changed. So we'll have to make sure to change that. And as you can see, it just goes right down this hole. I don't know where that hole goes, but it's not good. So anyway, we got a lot of changes to work on here to mitigate water issues. But right now, our footer and stem wall's fine. But I just want to show you guys before I strip all the forms off. I'm going to strip a couple of the forms off today, just where it's fairly dry and it's not being subjected to so much rain. Like this front wall is probably pretty fine. It's just getting it's still underneath shelter, but just with a little bit of breeze, a little water will come over. You can see the back side of it's dry, so not a huge deal here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the finished product here. And then this is pretty dry from this corner all the way, because we're underneath the deck right here, as you can see. So this part's pretty dry, but I may just leave it as is and just let it dry out, because this rain is supposed to stop about sunset, about 5:30 or so. And then we will have sunny, well, I can't say sunny days, but we will not have rain until the weekend, I think. So we'll have plenty of time for this to dry out. And so as you can see, I'm just starting to strip a couple of things off here. So I may do that, just maybe to this corner, or maybe up to right about to this corner, and then just let it be. Because again, this stuff is definitely dry. I'm just worried about the stuff that's still getting subjected to all the water over yonder. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you the results of what we did yesterday. And now we're all good to go with concrete. We just need to, again, let this cure for a little bit, maybe a week or so. before we start standing up walls, just to let it harden a little bit before we put some weight on it. So once it does, probably after Thanksgiving, because this is Thanksgiving week, we'll stand up these exterior walls, and then the side walls here and on the other side here, and then we'll let the jacks down so the weight sits on top of all these external walls or exterior walls, and then I'll start taking this dirt and backfilling once I get all these jacks out of the way, and leveling this out here. We'll throw a 90, nice long sweep 90 on this drain pipe here, and so we know where the interior wall is going to be. Then after we get this all backfilled and nice and level, so we can have a nice 4-inch slab here, then we'll get the plate compactor and rinse it again, and we'll compact this whole area down, put down some plastic to keep to mitigate the moisture coming up, and then we'll start pouring concrete pads, just little pads, so it's manageable. So we'll just do probably 2 wide by, I'm thinking probably 3 long. We're about 30 feet long here and about 16 or 17 feet. I have to measure now that all the concrete's all poured, and we're in a, this is where it's going to be. So a permanent position, if you will. So yeah, so I think if we got 16 feet, it's about 8 feet wide each one, and then about 10 feet long. So 8 by 10, about 80 square feet of concrete for each pad pour. So we'll put little form boards out to create squares, and then fill it up and make it all nice and even, so it's right up to this the stem wall. So the slab will meet the stem wall, so this will all be even, all in here. And that's kind of the plan for right now, is just to frame this out, to level this area out, to backfill, to compact, and start pouring little slabs. So this area is done, and all our concrete work is, I can't say all of our concrete, but the majority of our big concrete work is done. We'll have a little bit left to do. We got to fill all these little holes here, because this is our footer and stem wall for the basement. So we're going to fill all these, and that should be good. And then we're going to build a block wall here with one of these guys, which is just one of these poles that holds up all the way to the house. We're going to add one right about where these filled in blocks are, right about here, because this seems to be where this thing's sagging the most. This sort of header block, if you will. It's a reinforced piece of concrete. So anyway, I'm going to find the low point. I'm going to jack it up. It may be more, maybe like right here, right in the middle. And then we're just going to build a block around it, and I'm going to put some cap blocks on the outside that'll be flush with the wall as we build it. So, and then we'll stucco it nicely like it's already finished on the outside, and then you'll never know that this was a hole in the wall. And yeah, and then again, we'll have the weight here holding this header block, so we'll be all set, and then this will be just another exterior wall. We did, before, as per typical East Tennessee weather, before this rain came, we did have some pretty good winds last night. And so since we got this big giant hole in the wall, and this window already fell and broke, this window over here was fine, but when I came this morning, it had fallen in and it's broken. Not the glass part, but just the whole frame and mechanism. So unfortunately now we need to replace another window, but such is life. And then these boards had blown down too and fallen on top of the concrete mixer, but that thing's pretty robust, so I'm not too worried about that. But that's really the only damage after the, I don't really want to call it a storm, but just from the winds prior to the rain. So that's kind of where we're at. I think that's it. The only other thing I would say is kind of fun, even though this will never be seen, but so we put all of our names in the concrete here. Just, you know, something fun for the kids to do. And again, it'll be all under flooring, so nobody will ever see it, but it's just kind of fun. So, you know, putting our names on our house, so when they dig it up in 100 years, say, I guess this is who owned it at one time. I think, I'm just trying to think of anything else that we did yesterday. I guess we now have a couple of bags flew around everywhere. We have a massive pile of concrete bags getting wet. Some kind of flew over there. We had a nice big pile right here, and of course the wind blew them everywhere. I knew that was going to happen, but it's fine. And then the last, I think it's like 6 bags or so is sitting on a pallet here, and then we've got 2 pallets that are still wrapped in plastic, and I just obviously threw a tarp over it so that they'd stay dry. We'll probably take the tarp off tomorrow and let the ground dry out, because we'll have, you know, moisture coming up from the ground, getting them wet too. So just want to make sure they stay as dry as possible. Otherwise we'll have solid concrete in bags. That'll be totally useless. Yeah, I think that's it. Nothing really more to report. So yeah, I'll just post this so you all can see it, and then again, probably in the next day or two, I'll strip these forms completely and show you the finished product. All right, as always, thanks a lot for tuning in.